The next speaker is Vishal Prakash Nandeshwar. Since we are running late, we can avoid discussion now.
Sure, sir. After him, Dr. Harshita. Sir, two more cases.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Dr. Vishal Prakash Nandeshwar, presenting the case report on serpiginous choroiditis. A 45-year male patient visited the IOPD of IGH Rourkela 1.5 months back with the chief complaint of sudden onset painless diminution of vision in left eye since last 8 days. He had no history of such similar episode in past and no associated condition leading to such diminution of vision. There were no episodes of such history in his family. There was no history of diabetes or hypertension. There was no history of tuberculosis at present and in the past. On examination, visual acuity in right eye it was 6/9 partial and in left eye it was 6/18. With pinhole improvement 6/6 in right eye, in left eye it was 6/18. Refraction was tried but there was no improvement with any glass in the left eye. Patient was called for detailed examination of eyes and dilated fundoscopy after 2 days. After 2 days, visual acuity in right eye it was 6/9 partial with pinhole and it's 6/6. In left eye it was 6/60 with pinhole it was 6/60. All systemic examination and external examination in both eyes was within normal limit. BP was 180 mmHg. Blood sugar it was normal. Both eyes of patient were dilated by tropic acid plus eye drop. Slit lamp examination was within normal limit. So slit lamp fundus examination with 90D lens examination within normal limit in right eye. In left eye, there was appearance of irregularly shaped whitish yellow serpiginous lesions in the whole retina involving macula. Intraocular pressure by Goldman applanation tonometry in right eye it was 14 mm of Hg and in left eye it was 80 mm Hg. Slit lamp examination. Here we can see that there is a appearance of irregularly shaped whitish yellow serpiginous lesions in the whole retina involving macula in left eye. On OCT, right eye was normal, left eye what we can see waterfall effect, that is the hyperreflectivity found at the level of the choroid on OCT, because here the choroid has cell infiltration. Routine examination, HIV, HbSAg, VDR, RPR was non-reactive. Chest X-ray was clear and within normal limit. Mantox test was negative. Quantiferon TB Gold plus test negative. Blood sugar was within normal limit. Lipid profile within normal range. CBC within normal limit. ESR was 16 mm in first hour. BTCT was normal. HLA-B27 was non-reactive. RA factor negative. ECG2 2D echo was normal. My provisional diagnosis was idiopathic serpiginous choroiditis in left eye. In treatment, we were started with the systemic steroid tablet Pysolon 70 mg for 7 days and in tapered dose till 10 mg and then stop. Tablet Rantac was given and eye drop Nivanac in left eye for 3 times it was given. Eye drop Predacetate was given in tapering doses and capsule retinox was given for 30 days. On day 5, intravitreal injection of triamcinolone acetonide was given in left eye 0.1 ml. Follow-up day 7, visual acuity in left eye was improved from 6/60 to 6/24. Refraction was done for left eye and the vision of 6/9 partial was achieved with glasses. Patient was advised to continue same treatment and came for follow-up after 15 days. Follow-up day 21, visual acuity in left eye was 6/6 partial and refraction was done for left eye and vision was 6/6 was achieved with glasses. Steroid was tapered and patient was called for follow-up after 45 days. Follow-up day 45, visual acuity in left eye was improved 6/6 partial. Steroid was tapered and patient was called for follow-up after 3 months. My conclusion is that serpiginous choroiditis is an inflammatory condition that affects the inner choroid and is frequently bilateral and can be unilateral, recurrent and asymmetrically progressing. The RPE, retinal pigment deficient and choriocapillaries are also impacted by the condition. The process appears to be primarily idiopathic. However, there are theories that prove that it is an autoimmune process. Steroid and local therapy is often an efficient form of treatment, mostly for the serpiginous choroiditis complications. Thank you.
So the next speaker is
Success story, but you know that most majority of the cases of the serpiginous choroiditis is thought to be of tubercular origin, and HRCT test should have been done to rule out tubercular etiology.
Yes, quantiferon was negative, so
Still, HRCT test should be done to rule out tubercular etiology.